hope you know I'm bringing force like I'm Anakin. Torment got you frozen, now you pose like a mannequin. Solo with that crimson and Bumblebee my witness. No heart like I'm Harvest from January to Christmas. You don't wanna miss this. More fusions. Welcome to Teleria. Miscreate when I stepped in. Plat reset is risky. Like Clambo sending you back to the Bastion. System is getting landed. Dude, Legos are getting unfolded now. 100k that's Hades, 100k that's Ash. 100 mil on CB shouts to Deadwood, that's that. One artifact that's 5 mil, one amulet that's 10. CC's killing off this beat, murder raking with that pen. I've got my mask on like Jetson. Victor holding records like weights out of bench press. Samurai Shing in arena with my shadow kid. Jemba when now you're panicking. Skull crowns are getting taken out. Death Knight like Layla Fox. Sharp pulls for that summon rush. 3k subs in 8 months. Wanna shout you for all the love. Community we keep it strong. PLARIUM back and forth just like ping pong. Maybe in 5 years we'll get that Hydra boss. Forget a monster. You can call us Raid-Zillas. Sacreds. I don't wanna see ice like Frost Bringers. Some say YST you've got a cold heart. Yo Smiley come and bring that heat like Ignatius.
Monster. If things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chest to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to
What's going on, everybody? Welcome from Jay's stream over. Just give us a couple of minutes here. Enjoy Raidzilla, and we will be starting the stream shortly.
Got paid, I made, I raid viz. Flow like nitrate, my fate is. Show you where my knife blade ends. Better hope we then bring the friends. Dopamine and the dopamine. Crack your skull like an opening. Shark 2X, here we go again. I'm a universe of death and I'm beyond your comprehension. I'll decapitate that fool if he enters my dimension. Alone in my life now, I don't need your permission. Boot all my cheaters out, call that CC suspension. Hair like extension, but without all the excuses. Looking for a top, I've been feeling all your nooses. I don't know when to stop, I be violating truces. Someone needs to do this, let me show you where the truth is. Clickbait like Medusa, your views are what I use. Like the words on my hoodie, I need a mirror to get through. You should fear the tubes, I've been deadly with the blues. I've been known to kill a synth, I'm a shepherd of the news.
Monster. If things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chest to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Raidzilla, fire spit a monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V carpet. Fire. Raidzilla, fire. Monster. Shards on the dance floor, Louis V carpet.
2021, what a year. Bittersweet is coming to an end. We gon' highlight a few things for the free to play and those to spin. Geomancer bro for one day, got us all hitting like Victor Tez. He did it first though without a bug, man he hit for over 700 mil. Sean Party with Layla at, who got partner this year. Jay Giggs, Uncle Patches, Smiley, and Mr. Tham. Big shout to Saffron Man, he the one that got us all hit. Can't forget Hell Hades helped us all to optimize gear. Doom Tower trying to do it fast, so we all got a comp with us here. Or just use Chris, like Kenpachi says. I've been imagining the day that I could beat the Raidzilla monster. Gonna need a savage set, crit rate on attack chest. Gear cleanse, you be lucky if you get a gear cleanse. Front one mass bench stress, trying to roll substats. Will it be speed, will it be flat? CVC got me click, clack, click, clack, click like a lab rat. Is H-Dub, you can ask chat. Yo, Gigs, tell him what's next.
Get a pack free, sadly, never happening. Keep 'em mad with the packs we bring. I can't be taking that heat. Take it back to brackets, the Halloween ringer. Look at my stat sheet. What attracts these people is my greatness, bitch. Like a 10x with a Valkyrie, like fat chicks. You never gonna grab me, neither. RNG the menace here to dominate. I'm greatest ever nominate. I'm getting inside the beat like I'm a surgeon. Time to operate. I'm cutting him again. My lyrics gonna blade him with the skill up above every fucking body in the game. Debilitating every rapper thinking they can integrate him. And I make anybody who playing right afraid to pay, but don't nobody want it. But they're gonna spin it anyway. Cause y'all beginning to see that I'm a medieval. I'm a killer. You need to seal him a thriller me. I'm a Liam Manila. You bringing the villain within me out of me. You don't wanna be here when I free the behemoth to listen me. I keep it raving, call me Cena. Cause they're in the sea of me. I'm the deity of rapidity. Increasing the speed and killing any affinity. Motherfucker, you better run or you finna be dead like free to play in silver 300% of you players couldn't beat a tenth of me. I'm at it to diminish you, bitch. I'm despicable. You wanna battle? I'm unkillable. I'm rolling with edges invisible. I'm inexplicable. I'm unequivocal. I'm unforgivable. I'm fucking biblical. An orange criminal. You never catch him digital. The god I rate a ruler. Man, stop.
hope you know I'm bringing force like I'm Anakin. Torment got you frozen, now you pose like a mannequin. Solo with that crimson and Bumblebee my witness. No heart like I'm Harvest from January to Christmas. You don't wanna miss this. More fusions. Welcome to Teleria. Miscreate when I stepped in. Plat reset is risky. Like Clambo sending you back to the Bastion. System is getting landed. Dude, Legos are getting unfolded now. 100k that's Hades, 100k that's Ash. 100 mil on CB shots to Deadwood, that's that. One artifact that's 5 mil, one amulet that's 10. CC's killing off this beat, murdering king with that pen. I've got my mask on like Jensen. Victor holding records like weights out of bench press. Samurai Shing in arena with my shadow kid. Jemba when now you're panicking. Skull crowns are getting taken out. Death Knight like Layla Fox. Sharp pulls for that summon rush. 3k subs in 8 months. Wanna shout you for all the love. Community we keep it strong. PLARIUM back and forth just like ping pong. Maybe in 5 years we'll get that Hydra boss. Forget a monster. You can call us Raid Zillas. Sacreds. I don't wanna see ice like Frost Bringers. Some say YST you've got a cold heart. Yo Smiley come and bring that heat like Ignatius.
Monster. If things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chance, to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Rayzilla, fire spit a monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V carpet. Fire, Rayzilla, fire. Monster, shards on the dance floor, Louis V carpet.
Heard he quit waking with a clickbait, got paid, I made, I raid viz. Flow like nitrate, my fate is. Show you where my knife blade ends. Better hope we then bring the friends. Dopamine and the dopamine. Crack your skull like an opening. Start 2x, here we go again. I'm a universe of death and I'm beyond your comprehension. I'll decapitate that fool if he enters my dimension. Alone in my life now, I don't need your permission. Boot all my cheaters out, call that CC suspension. Hair like extension, but without all the excuses. Looking for a top, I've been feeling all your nooses. I don't know when to stop, I be violating truces. Someone needs to do this, let me show you where the truth is. Clickbait like Medusa, your views are what I use. Like the words on my hoodie, I need a mirror to get through. You should fear the tubes, I've been deadly with the blues. I've been known to kill a synth, I'm a shepherd of the news.
Monster. If things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chance, to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Rayzilla, fire spit a monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V carpet. Fire, Rayzilla, fire. Monster, shards on the dance floor, Louis V carpet.
2021, what a year. Bittersweet is coming to an end. We gon' highlight a few things for the free to play and those that spin. Geomancer bro for one day, got us all hand like Victor Tez. He did it first though without a bug, man he hit for over 700 mil. Sean party with Layla at, who got partner this year. J Gigs, Uncle Patches, Smiley and Mr. Tham. Big shout to Saffron Man, he the one that got us all hit. Can't forget Hell Hades, helped us all to optimize gear. Doom Tower trying to do it fast, so we all got a comp with us here. Or just use Chris, like Kenpachi says. I've been imagining the day that I could beat the Rayzilla monster. Gonna need a savage set, crit rate on attack chest. Gear cleanse, you be lucky if you get a gear cleanse. Front one mass bench strats, trying to roll substats. Will it be speed, will it be flat? CVC got me click, clack, click, clack, click like a lab rat. Is H-dub, you can ask chat. Yo Gigs, tell him what's next.
Get a pack free, sadly, never happening. Keep 'em mad with the packs we bring. I can't be taking that heat. Take it back to brackets, the Halloween ringer. Look at my stat sheet. What attracts these people is my greatness, bitch. Like a 10x with a Valkyrie, like fat chicks. You never gonna grab me, neither. Orange the minute.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Sunday podcast of the Knights of Teleria. Hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous day outside. Up here in New Hampshire, we're at 60 degrees, which, hey, I just got to bust out my shorts. So I'm loving today. Today, we've got a lot of things on the chopping block. PLARIUM's been out of the park this week with everything, and I'm definitely excited to talk about new champions, new activities in the game. But before we get into that, let's introduce my co-host for the show. In the top right-hand side, in the red box, we have the 1397 Ultimate Free-to-Play player, Mr. FinalKenpachi. Ken, how are you doing, sir?
Hey guys, I'm a little bit sick actually. I keep getting sick, but I'm doing well for now. Thank you so much for having me. I actually watched the Dune 2 today, and I still have a goosebump, not gonna lie. I watched like 5 hours ago, but still under the effect of it.
Okay. I know we were talking off stream about that. Guy, I've never actually even watched that, but I think I might do that. Right underneath him in the yellow, we've got G Mills, aka also known as Gestal Gaming. How are you doing, Gestal?
I'm doing excellent, BLAZIN. How you doing, my friend?
Doing wonderful. Thank you. To my right, sporting the merch for the #1 Aussie in the world, Carnage, is my good friend, Mr. JR Star 3. Jay, how are you doing?
Doing well, man. Just been basically working on, the new duo and just been working on arena and stuff like that.
Very nice. And then right next to him, we've got the master of dabbing, the one, the only, Zero Brew. Zero, how are you doing, my man?
Yo, thank you for having me back on. I really appreciate it. This is a great group, and much love. And Final, I caught you on the last one trying to learn the creepy heart hands. Before it's over, we're going to teach you how to do it.
Okay. Listen, being a dad thing, I'm not really well on I don't know. I'm too old for that. But
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
I should be too old for it too, but it keeps me young. So that's what we're going to go with.
All right. All right, Ken, what have you been up to this week, man? What's new with you?
I finally full booked my Ankara since
Nice.
I got her. I was actually thinking to use my mythical book on her because I'm so excited, man, to try this new level. But anyway, Ankara is full book. But I need to wait probably another month to book the Queen. My bad, King. But I still enjoy them, man. I actually try to use them on the live arena, tag team arena, Klisk arena. And they are so good, man. I'm so glad I was a shard. Otherwise, I will be so sad. They can actually counter Taras Marisha, guys. They can. I mean, still a little tricky. Don't get me wrong, but they can.
Okay. I definitely booked both of mine, play tested mine. I mean, they are a lot of fun. And you know what? I'm kind of glad we had this free gear removal this week because I destroyed my whole account fixing a lot of my champions up. So we'll have to see what my new build can hold up to in this week's reset. But definitely agree with you on that. Mr. G Mills, what have you been up to this week? How was that shard pull luck? Did we get anything crazy?
No, I didn't pull any shards. I didn't really want to go. You talk about like Aislinn. I don't know, man. I still want them, but I figured it's probably better hang out and wait for this new fusion. Just hang on to the shards. But I finished up the Titan event. I was able to get everything there, and I got the Royals, as we're calling them, Narcissus and the Queen and Cora. Got them both fully booked. I gotta say, Narcissus is now a better build than my Tars, and I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing.
Okay.
But I am loving them. Yeah, definitely not a direct counter. But man, it's so good. It's so good to have someone that not only is good into Tars, but good into Rotos, good into like a lot of these champs that are super annoying. So really enjoying them in live arena. Really enjoying them.
All right. Jay, what about you? What have you been up to this week, man?
Yeah, I instantly had to go for, the guaranteed for Narcissus, and I pretty much have changed everything on my account to focus on them. I've gone more on the resist side since everyone's going like faster than 380 speed. I can't even get past 390, so I've kind of gone like more on a resist route with Stone Skin and just working on them. I rebuilt Yumeko and some other champions, and I just been pushing a little bit into Plaid and actually enjoying arena for a while, since it's been like 2-3 months since I really haven't really gone too hard. But I'm actually enjoying it now. I think they're really powerful.
Okay, all right. Zero, what about you? What have you been up to?
Being depressed.
Because you missed out?
No, I didn't miss out. No. So we got 16 shards for later tonight to pull for the Archer, our last shot for her. But I'm like in Gestal's boat, it's like I need to save these for the new Fusion that's coming in. I'm sure that's one of the topics today, but in Cursed City, I don't know if the newness is worn off, and I get it. We have a gear cleanse right now, and I should be taking advantage of it. But this rotation, I'm like, do I really want to put 475 accuracy on a Mortal Macabre just to get the anti-healing on right now? So I'm a little depressed. I'm like, I haven't been 101 staging hard and all of that too. And so, I mean, I only have 110 points right now. And so I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't have a Taras on my account. Everybody's throwing Taras at it. So,
listen,
kind of depressed.
I'm
depressed right now.
I'm running the ultimate free-to-play team right here. We got Aislinn, Double Taras, Marichka, and Artak. Artak was free. I don't know.
Artak dated again.
Yeah, exactly. What are you complaining about? What are you complaining about?
Can you just auto this for us? I did a normal one, and it took 32 minutes to do normal, and it took like a whole bunch of RNG luck. And the only saving grace was my Marichka with Life Harvest, and Amius got half its life taken away. That was my only saving grace, but I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. I'll be quiet. I won't be so negative, but I'm glad to be here, so I'm positive about that. And we got shards for later, so yay.
All right, so let's make sure we join Mr. Zero Brew on his stream tonight for those shard pulls. Bring him some awesome luck. Maybe he pulls the archer that he's been looking for. But as for myself, this week's been pretty good. Actually, huge. I'm in the middle of trying to type this out, but I have Ogar on YouTube, also known as Bob. He has came on and basically taken all the editing out of my hands and has been doing a phenomenal job. So all the videos you guys are watching, if you're enjoying the edits, it's all him. So big shout out to him. Thank you very much. Allowing me to focus more on trying to do some more YouTube videos and not spending too much time with the edits. But huge shout out to him. Loving everything. Thank you very much. As for raid in game, this was completed. We are done with Centranos, right? So I'm happy with that. I'm currently in the middle of regearing and ripping apart all of my champions, which could be good or bad if I don't get this done in enough time, because I still got another 13 hours. Crap, I'm gonna have to do this tonight because half my champions are still ungeared. So that might actually just cost me more than intended. But other than that, not a bad week. All right, so let's talk about all things in raid. Actually, I do got to ask you guys your creator question of the week, right? Are you what are you? Are you an iPhone fan? Are you a Samsung fan? What platform do you use your phones? And what kind of phone is like your go-to? Like, will you ever switch from, let's say, a Samsung to an iPhone? Let's go with Ken first.
I'm never be big fan of the iPhone because they are ecosystem limited. I don't like the being limited. Maybe it's a good phone. I actually don't even know how to use the iPhone. Like, if you give me iPhone, I probably cannot unlock. I love Android. My current phone is Samsung S21 Ultra. If there's something happen to this phone, I don't know. I'm gonna buy this S24 Ultra because it's so bad, man. The design, it's a flat screen. Give me the curve. What happened to curve? Give me the curve, man. I know curve.
I think every one of us loves curves. Just have to be right, right?
Nice, so.
All right.
They give up on the curve.
All right. Gestal, what about you? What kind of phones you go to?
Well, I have an iPhone. I prefer Android. I went to Android for a little bit, probably 4 or 5 years ago. I forget what model, the S10 maybe or something. I really like it. I like being able to kind of do whatever you want with it. It's much more flexible than the iPhone. A lot what Kenpachi was just talking about. But the biggest issue I found, and I've heard that this may have changed recently, but the biggest issue I found was my parents are all on iPhones. My sister, pretty much my whole family's on it, and that they're basically the people I share pictures with. And sending pictures through an Android to your parents who only know how to use an iPhone is a nightmare. So I just went back to the iPhone.
Okay. So
but I prefer Android. I think it's better. I think it's much better.
Okay, so you went iPhone just for the comfortable with mom
Just
and
easy
dad.
use with my family. Yeah.
All right, so mom and dad, make sure you guys appreciate the suffering that he has
What
to
I'm giving
have
up for him, man.
to
I'm sure
use
they
an
care.
iPhone, so he could be able to do this for you. All right, Jay, what about you?
I've always been an Android user for since the beginning. I thought about getting into Apple, way back when it first started. I was like, okay, maybe I'll do this, get into the computers, but everything was just super expensive, and then it's very like they block you like in terms of the shop and all this other stuff. You can't really like you have to jailbreak your phone, and it's just so much. I'm like, man, I just want freedom. So I went Samsung, never went back. I've always bought them. And their interface is just a little bit different too. I like Samsung, so I've always used them. I'm probably never gonna go. The only reason why I'd ever buy one is if I was like a passport bro, or if I was doing like a player type of stuff. You definitely want iPhones because they're really good for the ladies, But other than that, no, I'm just gonna stick to Samsung.
All right.
Well, I have to change my phone. Yeah. Thank you, Jay.
So if he's not trying to be a player, he's not even gonna bother with it. All right. Zero, what about you, man?
All right, here's the deal. All right, so I'm PC guy for life. MS DOS 3.2 command prompts, old school. But I went iPhone and I never went back. I never tried to do anything other than iPhone. And now I have so much money invested in music and all the stuff that I don't think I could ever. It'd be like throwing away, thousands of dollars just in content. So I think I'm iPhone for life. Sadly, and I never tried the Android. So I know my wife attempted once, and they are completely different phones, which is kind of crazy. So I'm like, I'm getting too old to have to deal with that. What about you, BLAZIN? What you got?
So I am an iPhone person. I've been an iPhone person since the first iPhone. I did try because AT&T gave me the Samsung Galaxy 4. So we're talking like 10, 12 years ago. I tried that when it was free. They gave it to me. I returned it back within like 5 hours of getting the phone because I was like, nope, don't do that again. PC wise though, I cannot use Apple because I like to be able to customize a lot more with the stuff. But as for the phone, I love Apple. Myself, my family, everyone has Apple. So I guess it's a 3-2 here. We'll have to have chat decide the winning one, whether it's going to be Samsung or Apple. But good to know who I can start texting with. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and cheat here, and we're gonna make it 3-3 because I know HWZ uses an iPhone because his text messages show up blue on mine. So we go 3 for 3 there. There we go. All right.
Well, it looks like to me the boomers are the iPhone guys, and the young bucks got the Androids.
Yeah.
So the old guys are stuck with Samsung. The new guys know what's the real deal here, right? No pun intended. Real deal 86.
So you're saying I'm going to get your phone number after this? You're going to give me those digits?
Sure. Hey, if you want them, I talk to Jay on almost every day on the phone. But yeah. All right, let's talk about this week in Raid. I mean, we've got a lot of things, right? They gave us 2 new champions. We're going to get new missions, and we're going to get Great Hall bonuses. Now, I want to start with this one up first because I'm loving the Great Hall bonuses in the areas that we're going to get. I do see a little bit of a problem with this. Now, we are going to get him in Phantom Shogun. We're going to get him in Centranos, which is huge for a lot of people that are going to try to push for it. Doom Tower, another big one, right? We're going to get him for Sand Devils, right? So it's definitely huge for the accounts. Now, good step, bad step. What do you guys think? Let's start with Zero first.
Why you gotta start with me first?
Because I'm picking on you.
I was zoning out. But no. So the new items, yeah. Like I think it's great. Like first of all, you have so many segmented parts of the game, so you got to start including all these other segments of the game. Even with when they offered the 2x and they didn't include it for the potion keeps and Minotaur and whatnot. It's like, come on, let's be a little bit more inclusive of all the items in the game. And I think this is going to be really good too, because like nobody cares about potion keys. If you're a brand new player to the game or you're a free to play player, you might care about some of these other areas of the game. But so including all the areas allows early game, mid game, and end game people to kind of focus their items. Like me, Hydra all the way. Now I'm starting to dump into Fire Knight because I still haven't done a Fire Knight 10 team yet. So like getting the speed up and things like that, so that I have an advantage. So I'm excited to see these other areas of the game that I'm moving towards or trying to perfect, and those being included. So hopefully that was the right answer. I don't remember what the original question was.
So you're giving them a thumbs up on this. That's basically it.
Yeah. I mean, let's do it, right? I don't like, and I'll always go back to because I'm still doing my regular affinity after 2 years of playing. Actually, March 4th. Tomorrow is my 2-year anniversary in Raid. Ooh, yeah, so I'm just now on attack in the regular affinity bonus, but like I still have those in bronze, and it is good to see like the gold badges, get used for bronze or convert over, and it's so tough to see that we've been in gold for so long that if you want to put bronze, it's like using all those gold badges. Like I'd rather save the 2,000 or the 1,000 for clan boss crit damage or something than to dump it on something bronze brand new. So I don't like that, especially now that we have even more thrown at us. I don't think this will be something anybody will ever complete, but yeah. So I give them a thumbs up. Let's include it.
Okay. Let's go with Jay next. Jay, what about you? What do you think?
So it is nice to have more flexibility in a game like this that allows you to do whatever you want as long as you choose resources to do it. But at the same time, it's like certain things could be bait, right? Like for instance, potion keeps, right? When you're progressing, you don't want to go too much and like, I might need a little bit more accuracy, but in the long term, you don't want to put too much into something that when you're like late game or end game, it's still not going to give you enough value right? Like we already have enough accuracy or speed or damage. We don't need potion keep for us, right? So early game, it might help a little bit, but you have to think in the long run, is this going to pay me not just now, but like dividends later on months or years if I'm playing this game? So little things like that, I think they should just made it a general thing for everybody and just buffed it that way, like instead of having to put time into it. But other than that, putting extra areas like Sand Devil and Centranos, that's really good because people are having trouble, right? Complaining, I don't have the stats or I don't have enough champions. So having that extra allows the player to see what they want to focus in the game. I do like that. But like potion keeps, I think that's one that you don't even need that. Even free to play people are getting up to stage 18, 20 now. Like, so it's like, I think that's kind of weird. I think it's a huge bait to even put anything there. Unless you're trying to create solos, but even then you could probably still solo without it. But other than that, it's really nice. Now, I get it. They're trying to do it because they're trying to get more people to do live arena, right? Because people are not doing enough of it. So it's trying to incentivize people. And I think that's like another good thing as well, because they want that to be a pretty big mode. So let's see where it goes in the future.
Okay. Let's go with Gestal next. What about you, man? What do you think?
Well, they should almost just to build on Jay's point there. They should probably remove potion keep. Like that's super ridiculous. I don't think anyone should put points into that probably ever. And to your point, like it might look enticing early on, and then it's just an absolute waste. So I was actually gonna and to the question, I actually think this is a huge plus. And I had kind of thrown it out there a couple times on my stream that they should change potion keep to like Sand Devils or something, like when Sand Devils first came out, or not first came out, whatever it was. But like potion keep there is kind of ridiculous. But I think it is great because, unless you have certain comps, I mean, Shoguns can pretty much be done with rares at this point, and like one, block damage champ or whatever it is. But for Sand Devils, like if you don't have Blizzard or you don't have like Ninja, you're probably running like a really difficult team to run, and it's probably not 25 where you really want to be. So it's going to help tremendously for people having trouble with Sand Devil. And Iron Twins too, man. Like my free to play, I haven't even looked at Iron Twins. and like this certainly could open that up. So I think it's a great thing. I think it's going to help everybody out. It gives a little bit more incentive to get into live arena. I feel like I love live arena. I'm in it every day, but I feel like a lot of people don't love it, and I feel like that love might be falling off. So maybe this will bring some people back.
Okay. What about you, Ken? What do you think?
It's amazing. Like, there is no bad thing about it. Like, Sun Devil, for example, like, there's a couple of the comp guys. Obviously, like, if you have a double G nut, you're probably not going to be worried about the damage. But some comp with the 1 G nut, actually, you are barely, like, boss is staying there, like, 1%, 5% HP, you know? And you can give them, we can give it, like, ignore defense now, right? Which is can help a lot of the critical damage bonus. So this can unlock lots of the doors for the most of the player. Because Sun Devil, you need a specific champion, right? Otherwise, like, there's nothing you can do. Phantom Shogun a little bit easier, but still same. Iron Twin, like Gestal mentioned. But Curse City, we are actually gonna have a bonus for Curse City.
That's right.
This is amazing. Like, I believe we are gonna get Curse City bonus. It's gonna work for every stages, I'm guessing. Like, included boss, Amuse boss, right? This is gonna be awesome, man. Like, actually, I'm saving my live arena point right now for the Curse City. Because we are gonna mention probably soon, you know, we are getting new progress champion. And there is one recruitment saying Curse City, but what kind of Curse City recruitment is that? I don't think it's gonna be that easy. So prepare for it.
You know, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into this because, man, you know, seeing this, I got a lot of comments about what they said here, right? We're gonna go ahead down to there will be 180 new progress missions divided into 3 groups of 60, right? The missions will focus on live arena, so Gestal's good there. Curse City, I'm fine there. Hydra, we've got Zero that's got that covered. Awakenings, I think Mr. $14 free to play here has got everything he needs. Sorry, $13.97. And Gira Simpson's Jay, get on it. And so on. All right, so up until now, I'm okay with most of this. The awakening part is my big issue, but the so on, that is my biggest, like, fear. And that is definitely one of the comments that kept coming up in my video is the so on part. Now, for anybody that's currently chasing Ramonto, you know one of the most difficult missions to get is the glyphs part, right? Because you need to get 50 of those glyphs. You got to hoard onto those. You got to save them. I don't currently have an account that doesn't have Ramontu, so I can't go through every single one of them. But there are a lot of challenging missions there, mostly for, you know, resources-wise, right? The so on,
secret room.
Yep, the Doom Tower secret room one. Yep, that's definitely going to be another one. Now, again, I'm good with most of this stuff. The so on, I don't like knowing because what could it be, right? Could this next one tell us that we need to get 100 of our 6-star glyphs to max? Which, what the hell, right?
Can I guess?
Actually, we're going to. So I'm going to start with you off first then.
Okay, what about like that? PLARIUM gonna love that. I think they are gonna send me invite tomorrow for the employer. Clear synchronous 100% hard difficulty on every single rotation.
Oh.
No.
Not just once?
Nah. That will be brutal. I bet if they are gonna ask like one time, which is still very challenging. Like, I cannot do it, but I mean, there's a chance, you know? Like, I'm sorry, guys.
It takes 5 months to complete.
I said, hey, can we find out anything else? I haven't gotten a response. And then I'm waiting to see if they're going to backdate anything else, right? Because, you know, if I've already cleared Centranos, or if I've got a certain amount of champions that are already 6-star awakened or 5-star awakened or something like that, will they backdate that? Or will I actually have to awaken new ones? Because there's only so many dupes that I can build and put ascensions on. But I definitely think Centranos, I'm more concerned about Centranos being the new difficulty that they add, but I definitely see them, you know, just like they did with who was it that we had to get from hard mode Doom Tower, the orc guy, right? What's his name? Was it King Gara? Or is it, who was the Garlic Scumhide, right? You had to get him, which took at least, what, 3, 6?
Third one.
Yeah, he's the third one in, so you're looking at like at least 9 months before you can completely get his stuff. So I could definitely see them saying that we will have to do hard mode and
Carnage.
possibly Carnage. I can definitely expect that, but guess
By the way, like,
yep.
Sorry, quickly. Even like, let's say they are gonna ask one rotation, right? You need to clear one rotation hard difficulty. Even that, like, if you miss that rotation, if you prepare that rotation, but you try everything, you cannot do it, right? You need to wait 5 months again to see that rotation. That's. I hope they are not gonna do that way. You know, like, I hope they are gonna say, like, I don't know, clear 70 room, 5 awakening stage, a little bit more, you know, good. They can still keep the Carnage there, you know, because you can get the Carnage by just killing the boss. It's gonna take some time, but just killing the boss is enough, right? You don't have to fully clear to get the Carnage. So, finger crossed.
Chat's like, no, Plarium, don't listen to Ken. Please don't listen to him. It's a bad idea. All right, Gestal, what about you, man? What do you think the and so on stands for?
Yeah, I feel like they've kind of covered things. Maybe that's gonna include content that hasn't come out yet. Maybe the Void or whatever that thing is next to Hydra.
Void Tower. Void Tower, I think it was.
What is it? The
Void Rift.
Void Rift, yeah.
Yep.
Oh no, Great Void.
Great Void.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe it entails something like that. Maybe it entails content. I don't know, we've been hearing about another level of Hydra forever. Maybe it entails something like that. I kind of just took that as like, you guys get the idea. It's basically going to be a lot of the kind of newer Ender game content that you're going to have to get through.
Okay.
That's how I took it.
Okay. Jay, what about you? What do you think, man?
There's probably going to be missions like do Sand Devil, 25-10 on full auto, things like Iron Twins, and Fire Knight Hard 10. I know this might sound kind of crazy, but there's people out there who still can't do it, right? People are still doing Fire Knight Hard 6 or 8. They're not doing 10. So that could be a mission, right? Which would push the player to actually want to get there, not because of the mission, but for their account as well. So things like that, Hydra, can you do Hydra at a certain, maybe they might do speed things, like can you beat Hydra in the certain number of damage within a certain time, kind of like a time attack. Could be different things like that would be interesting. And they're just gonna probably add old school stuff like, we talked about already, like glyphs, like 50 glyphs or 100 glyphs, like things like that they could easily just throw onto. But everything else will be just basically late to end game content would pretty much be the mission. So
okay. Zero, what about you? What do you think, man? And I'm going to ask you more of a specific question on the Hydra part as well. What kind of damage do you think they're going to make it? Because for, I believe it was Arbiter, you had to do 200,000 damage to get her on Clan Boss. So answer me this.
But that was like in a day, right? Like in a, yeah. Well, yeah. So what do I think is going to be? First question. Yeah, I think all of the above. I'm going to be really mad if they do glyphs, because one of the things that actually I got through pretty easily was I just held all my 5 and 6 star glyphs from the entirety of the game. My problem was the time gate behind just, hey, you can do, red potion keep, but then on a Monday, but then you have to wait till Sunday to do until the void unlocks, or pay us 300 gems to unlock it.
Bro, I wait 2 weeks, 4 days for the faction war. 2 weeks, 4 days for the faction war for the Romanto mission. No joking.
Insane.
Yeah, same thing with that. Yeah, so hopefully, I got a feeling they'll just time gate a lot of this. But one would think, since they're talking about it splitting, because I don't know if we talked about that or not, between Ramontu and Arbiter, I would like to see at least a good variety and let Ramontu be Ramontu Hell, and let this new person be new hill, and again using the new content. But it may, maybe a mid game player newer to the game, maybe a year in, can split those two paths and do both at the same time. That'd be kind of cool.
Okay.
I know a lot of us are more end game, might be a little bit different. And then for Hydra, how much damage? We already got the CVC points at what 650 is the overall points, and so you've got to put up some damage for that, and people have been kind of pushing the bar there. If they put a damage amount in Hydra, hopefully it's with all three keys, and maybe it's the 650 million, because you can already get that bar set. If they go any higher than that, that's kind of crazy. Like the people who've done it, no problem, right?
Right.
But some of the early game people, then you're going to really isolate a good portion, the mid to early game people who just can't put up those numbers.
But is there a 650 million with multiplier or without multiplier? Because
Without
Clash is a
multiplier.
multiplier. Oh.
Without multiplier, I would say.
Without multiplier, yeah. So 650 just to get the best chest if your clan wins first place, right?
Right.
650. Yeah, so I would
Well,
think that
650
would be...
for if your clan wins, that's with the multiplier.
Right.
But I'm guessing whatever they do for this is going to be without the multiplier.
Okay, gotcha. I don't know. I'm putting up 1.9 billion points now, so I'm a happy camper. Thank you, Acrizia.
Oh, wow. Mr. Whale alert there.
Okay, I don't hear Taras.
All right. Here's my biggest worry. Since Ramantu was added, they've added a lot of new game modes. They've added a lot of new things. I'm hoping and I'm praying, and Plarium, I'm telling you right now, if you do this, it's a bad decision, that they don't make it so you have to win a CBC or win a Hydra Clash. If they make it gated behind any of that, it is an absolute horrible idea. I don't care if it gets me kicked out of the program, but I will not let that go. I will bash on them so hard for that. I'm hoping that that's not the way to go. Again, we know that the last year they've gone full on monetization, but if they do something like that, granted, I think it will kill the game mode. But yeah, that's my biggest worry, is them locking it behind one of those and then just some stupid, ridiculous number on Hydra, because everything else eventually through just playing long enough, you can achieve, assuming that RNG is in your favor most of the times or some of the times, whether it's building the champions, and then they are making it so that we'll be able to make our teams a little bit better with the Great Hall for, Cursed City and all of that. Now, let me ask you guys, which one is the one you are dreading the worst out of the Live Arena, Cursed City, and Hydra Awakening and Gear Ascensions? Which one do you guys hate the worst? Let's start with Zero first.
Well, I just unlocked my Quintus, so I hit Gold 3 last night. I haven't pulled him yet, so I would think that Live Arena is what it is. You either can do it or you can't. And I know they lowered the point threshold, which obviously helped me and I'm sure everyone else in the game. So I hope it's not that. Hate the worst. Now that I got my Sin Devil 25 team, so I'm happy about that. So we can do Gear Ascension all day long, so that's great. I think probably the Champion Awakening, because that's putting money behind it, right? Like, I don't know about y'all, but I actively hoard my shards. I'm waiting for this double chance that they're finally giving us a year and a half into it. I know they're kind of dipping their toes and starting to make that as part of the fusion and stuff. And I think, like you said, full money mode, Plarium. Like I would really hate it if they said, okay, well now you got to start dumping money into Souls. Like they've already made Souls a part of the game with Sin City, and I think that's great. That's cool. But I would hate for them to raise that bar again. Like they've been raising the bar, and they're giving us a little bit more here with it. But if they raise it again for this new thing, I think that would be my fear or my worst area.
Okay,
because that's just money.
Okay. Jay, what about you?
Yeah, pretty much Champion Awakening. A little bit can be annoying some areas. But I think honestly they haven't told us about Ultra Nightmare Hydra. And Nightmare is pretty hard for most people. If they release it next year or this year, and then they add a mission for it as well, that's a pretty big gate, you know. But we do have Hydra area bonuses, so maybe that could help. But that's the only thing that they've been silent on. They've been, that's been in the works there for a year and a half, and they just been silent. They don't want to say anything. So I don't know if they scrapped it or they're just going to work on the Great Warrior or it's going to come out. And there's also 2 other heads too, which they haven't. So it's that's the only thing that's getting me is Hydra. Like, what's going on with that, right? What's going on with the Lightning Head? What's going on with Ultra Nightmare? So that's the one that has me kind of like thinking like, ooh, what's going to happen? So that's the only one I would say probably.
Okay.
Jay, can I throw you a monkey wrench real fast? Would you rather them work on that, or would you rather them work on that 3rd new clan boss and maybe tie a mission to that?
The thing is, the faster we get to the Great Void, the faster we're getting to the end of the game. Because that's like, you know what I mean? Like true actual end game, like lore and raid. Like what happens after that? Are they just gonna make a brutal version of all dungeons? Or are they gonna like what happens after that?
No, we get Raid Shadow Legends 2 where nothing carries over, and we've got to spend another $40,000-$50,000 on our accounts to even be able to play the game again. Come on.
No.
Plarium, horrible idea. Don't do that. Gestal, what about you, man? What do you think?
I feel like St. Trianus is going to be the gate for all of it, like a time gate, kind of like Doom Tower was, and also an accountability gate. Like, there's a lot of... I haven't completed one yet. Not that I've necessarily really gone super hard into them, but maybe now I'll try a little harder with the gear swapping, not be as big a deal. But it's not even so much the gear swapping, like, it's just the cost of having to roll up gear that you haven't rolled up yet to try and gear out another champion. So, I mean, that's pretty much what holds me back from, I feel like, doing this, because I just can't burn through silver like that anymore. I don't farm enough stuff. Like, if you're farming, like, when I farm, I'm farming Sand Devils and Shoguns. Like, that's, your silver return there is very, very little. I'm always hurting for silver because I'm always rolling stuff because you're either in the forge, you got the forge pass, you got all this stuff. So silver is what holds me back, to be perfectly honest, man. And that's the problem with me in the Cursed City, man. So I think I think it's gonna be the time gate, like I said, with Doom Tower, and it's a huge, lack of a better term, it's a huge silver gate. For at least for my account.
Okay. Ken, what about you?
For me, the most challenging part gonna be Cursed, like especially if they are gonna be 100% clear, on the hard difficulty. Like I still cannot do that. Like I have to put a little bit extra effort, but still couple of the rooms, especially the Awakening, I just don't have Awakening champion. Like what can I do, right? And I think most of the player also be very hard part is gonna be Cursed because it's a new content, it's a new difficulty, right? Live Arena, I believe they are gonna ask like Gold 1. For the Romanto mission, they ask Tag Team Arena Gold 1, so I believe that's gonna be same. Hydra should be okay for most of the end game player. Awakening is like, what does that mean exactly? Champion Awakening, like what? Have like 6-star champion Awakening, like what?
Like 56-star champion Awakening.
Like, is that going to be count the previous one, or you need to be do the new one?
That's a good question. I asked that. I haven't found out yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it does count it. Like otherwise. Yeah. The best thing people can do, they can probably save your essential material right now because one of the quests is asking you gear essential. I believe this is not going to work on the previous one, so you have to be ascend your gear. So yeah, and the glyph. I'm thinking there's still gonna be glyph mission.
Oh, I hope not.
I hope not. I hope not.
The Ascension.
That would be because I now use all my glyphs.
Yeah, seriously.
All the time now that I've done my Romanto mission. So please don't do that.
Oh,
wait, what is that?
I think it's a
looks like a
plastic
pickle.
poop.
Oh,
Oh yeah, it's a poop. It's a poop.
It's a poop. It's a plastic poop.
I was
You
trying,
know,
to say, I was trying not to
thank
say it.
You washed your hands, right?
Nah.
All right. So for me, I mean, the Champion Awakening is definitely one of the worst ones I see happening. I'm gonna steal Nobo's idea here, though. What if it's having to get Sersha,
Jeez.
right? Because we all know Sersha is going to be the only way to get her. Where is she?
Be terrible.
Plarium play points. It's a Plarium pay
hold on,
points.
let me
Sorry.
check my point.
You know, to
I've-
get Sersha, you have to. I don't know. I can't. I've already gotten her, so I can't go back.
I
But
think it's 25,000.
yeah,
I have
25,000
almost
points.
10,000 by the way.
You have
so
almost
almost
10,000.
there. Like, give me like a
Oh,
couple of
wow.
more years. Like, give me like 5 years.
That's pretty good though.
You know, maybe they'll start doing some more Plarium pay point events for that one.
Yeah, true.
Or you know, what if they do? You have to have High Mother mod fuse to be able to do that. Yeah,
That would be horrible.
Yeah,
I hate that.
of
I
course.
hate Mother Mod.
of course. Jay's like, yeah, let's go. I'm good for it, man. I'll sacrifice all my other
Everyone's gonna
fusion.
I'm on Jay's train now. I'm starting to think maybe I'm not gonna pull some of these guys and put it into mod. I don't know. It's like it's gonna be impossible to get her.
How
I'm
many
not even close.
how many shards are you guys sitting at? 0?
I don't know. Come back to me. Like 14 or 15. What's crazy is I got 11 on my first 10 pool. And then I got like a 3, and I was okay, that averages out. But then my next 10 pool, I got 0. And I was like, are you kidding me? And I don't have that many because I basically went for all the fusions ever since Helicath, because Helicath was my first one.
Yep.
After that, and I had a handful like Lorinaka that I still got like 70 from, but I intentionally chose to skip her. So that was like my big boost. And I'm almost out of chest. Actually, let me look right now because it's time to look, right? Or soon to be. Yes, I've got 19. Sorry. And
Okay.
we're what, 4 weeks in?
Better than me.
Yeah.
But I have only 10 chests left to pull. So yeah, then I'm tapped out.
Okay. Not sure why. I don't know if you guys are having the same issue, but like I've got 10 extra fragments from the Encore fusion, and it's not letting me feed them, which is a problem. But
Maybe because it's not.
well, the fusion's over, so it should let me feed
yeah,
them
I
because I
guess.
fused her. But
Yeah, same thing
Oh.
for me with Fatalis. I ended up with like 6 from the little card flip because I got my Fatalis from the shard actually, and I can't use those yet either. So
Yeah, it might just take time.
all right, Jay. What about how many shards are you sitting on or fragments for High Mother Mod?
I'm at 29 out of 100.
Fuck you, Jay. Gestal, what about you?
I'm at 16.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Ken?
I got very lucky so far. I have a 31
Wow.
fragment, yeah.
All right, let me go ahead and
So let me-
find
Have
Ken's
that.
camera, turn him off, get him out.
no, let me ask y'all this. So I see you're sitting at 77 chests. How many chests do y'all have left?
I only have
I
28.
have no idea.
28, and I've been playing for 4 years.
You know, it's actually kind of crazy that who was it? Jarec pulled, what was it, like 20 or 22 on the last chest
What?
he got. I was like, everyone had like, I was just like, bro, really?
Damn.
But yeah, it's, you know, so far
I've had a 1 frag pull or a 2 frag pull and a 0 frag pull on my 3.
that, yeah,
I'm at 16.
we
So
need
it's never happening.
we need this buffed, Plarium. We need the chances buffed. All right.
No, buff
Let me
the champion.
re-roll. I
Buff the
can't buff
champion.
it now. They're gonna have
Buff
to
the
let me re-roll them then.
Buff the champion.
All right, let's hop into, you know, one of these champions. Let's go ahead and start off with who do we start off with? I guess let's start off with the fusion, right? Because he is very controversial in a lot of people's minds, but I think like he is definitely somebody awesome. Now they did show him in a little bit of one of those clips on, what was it, Facebook or Twitch or something. And I was kind of looking at it when I was talking about it. I was like, nah, this guy's got to be like a new login champion. But he's definitely a fusion, right? Armin the Magnificent. Whew. All right, let's look at the skill kit. A1 attacks one enemy, has a 35% chance of increasing the cooldown of a random skill by 2 turns, books up to 50%, also gains 10% turn meter for each cooldown added, so the most that we can get is 20. First time we've kind of seen something like this, but let's talk Ken. Good, bad?
Good skill. It's very close to Narcissus skill. By the way, guys, does Narcissus skill work in passive skill as well? Narcissus A1, I mean.
Not sure. Narcissus A1.
Because Narcissus A1 saying like place skill cooldown Narcissus, not the queen.
Oh, sorry, Narcissus.
It's saying place skill cooldown, put the skill on the cooldown, right? But
Yep.
this saying put active skill on the cooldown. So I'm kind of confused.
I think that would be the same.
Yeah, probably same, but yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, very cool skill, man. Again, if you guys have an Ultimate Death Knight on the enemy team, it's going to work on the Ultimate Death Knight. But very solid A1. I love A1 like that.
Now, again, Ultimate Death Knight will counter him, though, because it'll just fall right onto him. So, Gestal, what about you? What do you think, man? A1?
Yeah, super solid A1. Increasing cooldown of a random skill by 2 turns. I can't tell you how many times that happens, and you're like, why don't I have this ability up? So, like, when it lands, it's super frustrating. If it happens to you, but if you can get it to land, I think it's awesome.
All right. Jay, what about you?
Yeah, it's basically just like Narcissus skill. But it also gives turn meter boost, which his whole kit's about that. So it synergizes with his kit. It's a good A1. It's the only downside is he's magic, right? So you have to be careful about weak hitting. So even against UDK, you might not, you'll get resisted on it. But other than that, it's actually a good, just generic, a good A1.
Okay. Zero, what about you, man?
Thumbs up. I like it.
Okay. All right. Solid A1. I am liking it. Again, UDK will counter him unless you use like an ally attack, but I think, not too game breaking, but pretty good. Before we get into the next skill though, Gestal, that picture you sent in CC chat, because I can't seem to find it, can you send that to me from your live arena match, please? Because I want to reference that in a minute. But the A2 attacks all enemies, steals all turn meter, except for enemies under sheep, which once I post this picture, you're gonna kind of laugh at this. Also places a stun for 1 turn on all enemies that are not under sheep. On a 3-turn cooldown, 100%. I mean, I think this is pretty much busted. But correct me if I'm wrong. Let's start with Zero first.
Yeah, it's definitely busted. Turn meter and then a stun. It's a double whammy here. Kind of makes you want to get sheep, huh? Is that why they release a skill like this? It's like, hey, y'all want to complain about sheep? Well, here, we give you something. If you're sheep, it'll help you out.
Guys, I'm sure a lot of you know who Big Papa Jock is, but I'll put this question to Jay, Gestal, and Ken. How bad was chat when Drock saw this fusion? Did you read anything of what he posted? I mean, it was absolute insane. He's going off on like, why are we buffing and putting more sheep in instead of just nerfing it? Like, he was so pissed. And, big shout out to him because he is not a fan of the polymorph, but man, yeah, it's a lot of fun. And here's a great reason of why we do not like polymorph. Gestal, what's going on here, man? Has everybody got polymorph on them?
Well, not everyone. I was fortunate to kill one of them, but yeah, And that's I have a 6-star on Dutchy there, 6-star poly, and then I have a 4-star poly on UDK. Like I'm not running 6 stars on everybody, man. That's one 6-star. UDK has 0 accuracy, so I would say it's safe to assume that Dutchy put those 3 in a sheep.
That's just insane. And poor
Yeah.
Jacob.
That's Jacobo?
Jacobo, yeah. Poor Jacobo.
Yeah.
I mean,
And he was streaming. I was like, man, I'm not even gonna jump in his stream. I feel bad.
he's another raid content creator. Shout out to him too. But yeah, man, what the hell? I have never seen that. So, Plarium, if you think that Polymorph is not busted, here's the main reason. And I think
Well, that's why I post. Like, I've honestly started taking screenshots of all these accounts that I'm facing that have Tara's 6-star poly. Like, every single champ, all their attack champ, every single champ is 6-star poly. Like, it's. I'm gonna try to like get a whole collage. I was thinking I was just gonna post them, but I think one at a time wouldn't really show it. I think I gotta get like a big collage of it, and I'll post that in the CC chat again.
I really
Just to get Papa Draw going, man. This is the best getting him going, bro.
I would love to have him on the show and we'll just talk about Polymorph that day and just see him go off. But
I'd like to be a part of that.
It's just I would love to find out what the meeting was when they said we're gonna put Polymorph in and this is what we're gonna do. I mean, for anybody who played a mage in World of Warcraft, like Polymorph was fun back then. Like it was not super broken, but this, god damn.
But Polymorph, like turning someone into a sheep isn't the problem. The biggest, to me, it's really 2 things, and they could still have it in the game, but make it more realistic. Your speed shouldn't change at all. So if you got a 400 speed Siffy and you get sheeped, that you getting out of that sheep quicker, not a big deal, right? Also, I kind of don't feel. I feel like you should be able to cleanse them. Yeah. Like it kind of kills Shuzen, whatever. She's good enough without that ability, and frankly, I don't use that ability to remove sheep.
Yep.
Because when you do it, you get the person at half health with no turn meter. So I'd rather them be in sheep. At least they're safe there, you know. And I'd rather use that to boost someone to try to knock someone out. So I don't think it really hurts her if they do that, and I believe it should be cleansable. Like. Then Polymorph isn't the end of the world. Now it's the end of the world, man. It stinks, and people don't like playing Live Arena because of it.
Yeah, it's definitely busted, and this guy is not going to help their their case about nerfing it. But Jay, A2, what are we talking, man?
So yeah, I saw the A2 and I was like, wait, what? I was like, that's power creep. There's getting AoE stun is already like you have to book up tons of books just to get 100%. No, wait, it's just there. And then steal. It's not like depleting their turn meter. He's stealing, which means he's filling his turn meter as well. He literally can get an extra turn. It's basically just a 1-3-3 champion with an extra turn on the A2. Like what? That's crazy. So it's a 1-2-3 champion in a sense while controlling you. I saw that. I was like, yo. Luckily he's not void, right? Because that'd be ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's just a strong skill. It's like the A1, but like even crazier. You can still resist it. You can still stone skin it, right? You can't deplete people under stone skin. You can't stun them. So it just makes stone skin really, really strong. And high resist teams can be really good against this champion. But other than that, it's a good skill for PvE too. Insane.
Okay. Gestal, what about you, man? What do you think about this A2?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, exactly what Jay said. When I saw steals all turn meter, I was like, oh lordy. And then I saw the sheep part, and I'm like, man, don't tell me this guy sheeps too. This is gonna be crazy. But yeah, great ability. I mean, yeah, he's scary, man. He's very scary.
Okay. Zero, what about you? What do you think about this A2, man?
You already did me, but thinking, no, that's fine. But just thinking about it even more, like this almost like kills the go second meta too. Like if this dude's on there just stealing and going and going and going, like you can't just sit back and take what they got. Too. Another thought. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Ken, what about you? What do you think?
Just give me 1 second. Look in the Mikage skill right now. Okay, Mikage have a similar ability, right? On the second form, on the A2, attack enemy places stun debuff and decrease target turn meter by 30%. Bro, Mikage alone can fully control the entire team, especially on the live arena. If you're facing her, like she can fully control you. And this is even more broker because this is not decrease your turn meter. This is stealing your turn meter. Like Jay said, he's definitely going to get extra turn from that. And this skill pretty much going to be 2 turn cooldown. Like, first of all, I recommended people, like early game player, if they have resources, highly recommended to get him. Even you don't care about the PvP content, because this skill going to be insane strong for the wave control. Wave control. Like on Doom Tower, on Curse City, on like your dungeon. Like, he can stun everybody, you know? Like, I mean, obviously, affinity, affinity going to be still problem, but yeah, very strong skill.
Well, he's placing it though, right?
Well, the affinity is only going to be an issue for the stun, not for the turn meter.
No,
this is also places a stun.
It's also going to be a problem on the turn meter. I'm pretty sure about that.
Okay, because you don't really actually have to do anything or hit, so you can't place a weak hit on stealing the turn meter. But I guess that'll be a good question. I'll have to put that as another question to find out.
Yeah, bro, like the first time I see this dude, oh man, it's like I wish they never release a champion like that, because this is gonna be like, oh man, like in the live arena especially, please don't use him, you know, like it's gonna be like, come on, bro.
Okay. So I'm a fan of it, and it really, like, arena wise, right? I'm a huge fan of it, but it does seem a little bit too powerful, because coming into the A3, you steal all the turn meter. Guess what? Whoever's got the most buffs, you got Stone Skin, you got something, great. I'm going to place my sheep on that target. And so with that, let's get into the A3. Places a sheep debuff on an enemy for 1 turn, then has a 75% chance, books up to 100 of removing all buffs from all enemies, feels this champion's turn meter by 5%, for each buff removed. Whew. Aislinn, I think might actually start coming in here. Protected sets. But yeah, let's go ahead and start with Jay first. A3.
All right. So it is a 3-turn cooldown, which is, I was like, what? Oh, it should be a 4-turn, but okay. So he's a 1-3-3 champ, or I should say 1-2-3. So that's already like, what the fuck? And then we got the sheep. But here's the thing. Right when we first saw that, I was like, wait a minute. Wukong sheeps, right? But his skill cannot be blocked. So even though he's placing it, he's not touching them, so he can't weak hit it. You can still resist it or block it. Therefore, resist teams and Stone Skin champions who are maybe full teams or maybe 1 or 2 won't have to worry about it, right? But if that person doesn't have that and they don't have resist, like let's say the Taras, you can just, go first, sheep the Taras, there you go. You probably, unless they have like 6-star blessing, sheep on them, you can actually get him like sheep before he lands the sheep. Now I want to see that interaction. If I use Armands on someone and I get sheep, does the sheep still land on the enemy, or do we both get sheeped? That's a good question.
So you sheep yourself. You sheep yourself.
So even though he sheeps people, he can actually get himself sheeped. The second part, which is he's not hitting anybody, which is good, right? Then he has a chance of removing all buffs. So at least you don't have to worry about that part getting weak hit because he's not attacking. And then he feels his turn meter for every buff removed. That's a lot of turn meter. If you notice, his whole kit is just making him go like tornado really fast. It's insane. For the average player in the normal account, this guy is AoE strips, sheeping people, stunning people, stealing turn meter. It's insane. Do I think it's super OP? No, he can still weak hit. He can still get sheeped. And I mean, me personally, I don't think I'm gonna worry too much in live arena. I think it's gonna be really annoying because you can kind of like slowly pick who you want. But in regular content, it's gonna just be extra. That's how I look at it.
Okay, all right. Jarec, sorry. Zero. What about you, man? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, being able to place the sheep debuff, like you said, resistance and stone skin, those are all awesome points, Jay. Yeah, removing all buffs from all enemies and then filling the turn meter, that can get disgusting too. So, yeah, I mean, I'll say this. When I saw the champion and saw these skills, it kind of at least gives us another option than Wukong. Like, I've gotten to the point where I jumped on the Wukong train and I try to first pick him. all the time now, just so that nobody else can pick him against me. He's that good in live arena. And I feel like now you've got at least a couple options here. And again, speed in arena, so they're, both the same there. So we'll see. I do think it's still about a point in regular waves. It's really good. It was crazy as someone calling it regular waves can be crazy too. Even though I don't really use them there, but
okay. Mr. Gestal, what about you, man? What do you think about the A3 here?
Yeah, obviously you see placing a sheep, and you start to hate life. Just like Zero said, Wukong he first picks it so you don't have to face it, man. Wukong is in every single comp. It's unbelievable, especially in live arena. People it's Wukong UDK. I've been saying this for weeks now. It's very frustrating. Obviously a much different champion. But we bring in another sheep element, so I feel like I'm gonna probably despise this guy just as much. But I am definitely gonna build him and try and use him, whereas I'm not really using Wukong right now. So I think the turn meter stuff is kind of the most interesting, as Jay's been kind of harping on. He's gonna get out of control with how fast he can get moving. By either stealing the turn meter or grabbing it by pulling all the buffs off of him. So, yeah, the A3 super strong, man. When I saw it doesn't affect enemies under sheep on that second ability when I was reading through this first time, I was like, oh, here it comes. And then the A3, man, places a sheep. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So. It's interesting. It makes me a little nervous for live arena. So it just because like I said, I love live arena. It's by far my favorite part of the game. I do almost 2 hours of it every night in my stream. So this just brings another frustration to my life.
All right, Mr. Ken, what about you? Is the A3 free to play enough for you, or is it too pay to win?
It should be no problem for me. I have like 900 resistance, but like Jay mentioned earlier, my DPS champion doesn't have a resistance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing is, for the Wukong, if you're talking about Wukong, you can counter the Wukong. Just place resistance ultimate that night, Wukong gonna do nothing there, right? But you cannot counter this dude, because it is not an attack skill, so he can target anybody on your team. And if this target doesn't have a stone skin or the resistance, and if the 3% not going to be your side, he's going to get a ship, and passive skill going to be more juicy, right? With the passive skill, very strong, man. Like actually, Jay's right. You can ship the Taras beginning of the game. That will be one of the best counter him. But there is a one counter side, so he's placing ship. Then after that, removing the buff, and ship is meta right now on the arena. So after that, there is a very high chance he can get a ship, which is his A2, also very high chance to get a ship. Man, like are we playing farm game, like farm wheel? What is this game, bro? Too many ship, man.
Okay, all right. I like Mav's idea here that we need to have some automatic bans prior to getting into our match for live arena. I think that would be kind of cool. But A3 is great. Borderline broken between the A3 and the A2, but when I read this passive, I was like, I can't skip this guy. Like I'm actually thinking about doing it on all 4 of my accounts because of the passive. Whenever a sheep debuff is removed or expires on an enemy, increases the cooldown of a random active skill on that enemy to max. Now, imagine having this happen to you coming out of all of these polymorphs and having all your skills put on max cooldown.
Just quit the game. Yeah, if this happens to you, just quit the game.
Fills the turn meter by 10% for each turn added onto the cooldowns. If there are multiple champions, only one can be active. I mean, this guy sounds like he's just going to be taking turn after turn after turn after turn, and I don't know, like what is going to stop him? Gestal, what about this passive, man? Broken, not broken?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Because it says whenever a sheep debuff is removed or expires, it's not one placed by him. So there's going to be a lot of sheeps out there. Take a look at that last picture. All those guys pop out. And the other thing, you can almost, like with sheep, I mean, granted, with damage dealers, you can almost decide if you want to pop them out of the sheep or not. So you could almost play with that to proc his passive in some instances. So this dude all around is pretty nutty, honestly. I'm fairly surprised that they have a champ like this in the game, but I kind of felt that way about Aislinn too, and Aislinn is non-existent. So, maybe we're hyping him up too much, and maybe he just isn't that strong. I don't know. I mean, I've already seen some good counters mentioned in chat, a couple of which I thought. But yeah, this guy's legit.
Yeah, I heard the comment of, CC's hyping him over. And the same thing was done with Aislinn. To be fair, with Aislinn, I think it's still a little early with what he can do. I just recently rebuilt mine, and I gotta say, like, with the new way of building him along with the rest of the team, he's definitely a lot more fun to play with. And
I'm just saying in live arena though, because I mean, I play a ton of live arena, like 15-20 fights a night, and I've never even seen him picked. And I'm going up against I'm sure every account I go against has him. Yeah. I go up against like the whales.
But yeah, I'm just kind of at that point where I was just like, all right, maybe we're a little bit overhyping him, but I don't know. He just seems too broken.
He does. On paper, he looks insane.
Zero. What about you, man? What do you think?
Yeah, so as we're talking through this, well, first of all, I just realized I said counter to Wukong, but God, could you imagine Wukong and this guy together? Ugh. So I had that realization, but then I was thinking about it. I think we also need to see his multipliers too. Like I think when Wukong first came out, everybody went full accuracy to ensure the getting through the blocks on the sheep. But then I feel like most of the community, I would say like 70-75% of the community, have realized how much of a good nuker he is. And so when I read this dude's kit, I don't see as much damage that like Wukong has. So again, but pair them together, and Wukong even at 300 accuracy or 350 accuracy is still going to get their nukers, and then let this dude be high accuracy, and now you've got even a more potent team. It's kind of, I'm looking at it now. I don't know. Again, I think we just need to see his multipliers, and even if he hits weak, I think his thing is going to be high speed and high accuracy and go. So, and if the team can't do anything, yeah, which I don't have Yameko or Warlord either, and I've developed a team that can kind of counter the skill. Like Crockmore really does work, and basically outlast them. And I can go through with the passives on that. So, all right. I don't know. I think we just need to see what his multipliers are, and we'll see. But yeah, now that we got a new combo, and I agree with what Gestal said about Aislinn. Like, yeah, I think it's one of those things you might have to see, just to see who else are you going to put in there to do the damage if he can't do it, right? So,
okay. Sorry if you guys hear the screaming in the next room. That's because my kids are playing in the playroom right now, but I do apologize. Real quick, shout out to NachoPlays 50, guys, another raid content creator. And according to the 8-Ball, when asked, is Nacho one of the best content creators? It says without a doubt. So make sure you guys head over to his Twitch and YouTube and give him a follow there. Much love to Nacho. Let's go ahead with Jay. What do you think about this passive, man?
This is the one part of his kit that I don't like. I don't because it basically incentivizes people to now want to have sheep, not because other people say it or Giga Whales are doing it or because the community is saying it. Like I was doing plat literally for 2 hours, never got sheeped, and I was literally just got there. And now, you know, when you use certain champions, specific champions like Mikage, Kaimar, or someone else who has some debuff, yeah, it can happen. It's RNG. But I don't really get, that's, you know, that's just the player's choice of what you're using will get you sheep. But this is just ridiculous because it's like, it's not him. Like Gestal was saying, right? Like any sheep, you just get locked out. Like the whole point of sheep is like, okay, I got sheeped. You know, it's not over. The fight's not over. I can come back, have a chance to win. He slowed me down, whatever. You come out, you're like, I'm locked. What do I do? Oh wait, they are using a lockout champion too. I'm infinitely locked. That's horrible. Like no one wants to enjoy. That's no. I don't agree with the passive. It shouldn't be to max. It should be 2 turns, just like his A1. To max is ridiculous. And it works off blessings. It works if you bring Wukong. If you start using him, what if you get multiple copies of Armons? Like, it just no. Like to me, I like the passive, in terms of what they were trying to go for. But max is just no. It should be like a 50% chance if they come out of sheep or some RNG, which no one wants more RNG. But I'm just saying, just plain out, you get that benefit is just crazy. And he's not a void. Like no, that's not great. Luckily, it does say if there are multiple champions, so that only one will work. So, okay, good. That's so you don't stack that. But then he also feels Terminator for every added cooldown. Like, how much more Terminator does this guy need? He gets it on his A3, he's stealing Terminator on A2, he's getting Terminator on A1, getting Terminator on the password. This guy's gonna be flying. Like, dude, imagine a 380 version of this guy just flying. You're never gonna, he's gonna just, like, it's insane. You think Siffy goes fast? I think it's gonna literally go faster than Siffy. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I definitely see him being insane to the point where I even feel like I might just put my speed gear on him and say, how fast can I get him?
Is this why they gave us a free Torment?
Maybe.
They knew this guy was in the pipeline?
I don't know about free because, it did take quite a bit of shards. But, yeah, I think that's probably why they had the Torment going on. Ken, what about you?
Sorry, was eating the popcorn show is way up today.
That's why I was like, as soon as I saw him meet, I was like, I gotta get Ken on now.
Ships makes me hungry, Bro, this passive skill, very, very strong. Like, very, very strong. It doesn't say anything about cannot be resisted, right? I have one weird question. I know it's very, very niche question, but let's say you have a Siffy, right? High resistance Siffy. But her ability cannot be resisted. So let's say I attack Ultimate Death Knight with a 6-star ship, but my Siffy has a high resistance, right? Because he have a 6-star ship, my Siffy can get a ship, right? Doesn't matter. So after she come back, does this dude gonna place my skill on the cooldown? Can I resist that?
I would think resistance would play a fact into that. So yeah, I would. Well, I don't know. I guess that's going to be my next question. I'm putting into chat right now.
Yeah. Jay actually mentioned something like if there's a multiple champion, only one of them going to be active. Yeah, but you can use multiple Wukong.
That is true.
You can use multiple Wukong. You can use like 2 accuracy Wukong, 1 DPS Wukong. There you go. Like.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, man, it's going to be so annoying, bro.
Yeah.
So annoying. I'm telling you, like, I don't want to see him on the live right now. I prefer Taras Marichal. Like, I start loving them now.
He's like, I love Taras Marichka. I don't love this guy. Please, just pick Taras Marichka over him.
I mean, I have a narcissist now, so.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about, are you guys going to go for this fusion? And what are you guys expecting it to be gated around? I mean, we know that shards are the #1 thing. Could we get another Titan's Path event like they did with the Queen and possibly gate it behind something like that, or making sure that it's only 100 shards? I'm hoping that they don't do anything like that, but what are your first question, I guess, is going to be, are you going to go for him? Which is kind of dumb because I'm 99% sure almost everybody's going to go for him. But what do you expect the gating behind is going to be? Let's start with Zero first.
The gating behind, Repeat that again. My ADHD.
What do you think PLARIUM's going to gate this guy behind?
Oh, like in terms of like all the different stuff. Yeah, so they said this was the hybrid, right? So this is you got to get the.
Did they say hybrid? I don't.
It's, you got to get the shards for the epics, right? And then you got to level up the epics to fuse him.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. They've been experimenting. Like I really liked the last one where they kind of combined a dungeon diver with the champ training together, and I don't even know what they called it. Someone help me out.
Titan event? No.
Titan Path?
Pit
Titan
event?
Path?
Pit event.
Yeah, Event Path. Yeah, it was like one of those. Like, so I kind of like that one. Yeah, I think they're gonna go all in with the shards again. And what's crazy is again, I'm going for the archer tonight, so I still don't have her. And yeah, they're gonna just make me spend money because knowing them, they're gonna do a pogo Tuesday for sacreds. Yeah, because it just did the whole Aislinn Archer thing, and then this dude's going to start on Thursday, and there's going to be, at least a summoning event with the champ chase right behind it. So
no guaranteed, guys. We're not leaking any information or anything like that. We don't have anything. This is pure speculation about the pogo.
I'm not an official CC. I'm a wannabe CC. That's just my speculation.
If it's been data mined, we don't know about it. It's all on Zero.
Yeah, y'all. I could be your scapegoat. That's great. Yeah, no, honestly, I think a pogo's coming in between these two things, and that's if I was a betting man, that's what I'd double down on. And I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, it's doable. I think no matter what, he's so good, everybody's going to have to do it. Even if you're free to play. I mean, this is what free to plays train for, right? They hold and hold and hold and hold and hold for these events, but you're going to have to go for them.
Yeah. All right. Jay, what about you, man?
Well, at first I thought it was a traditional fusion, but now that I found out that it's a fragment fusion summon, which is the worst one of the three, that means it's going to be really gated behind getting these epics. I got screwed over Brogni, over 15 fragments on one epic, couldn't even get my Brogni 2.5 years ago. So you got to be careful when it comes to that. Like, we have to get these epics, and then you have to fuse it into it. If you get screwed by one event and you're not able to get that last little bit of fragments to get that champion, there you go. You wasted all your time and resources. So that's a little bit scary. That makes it a little bit harder to go for this champion. I understand the champion's super, insane, but like I wish it was a bit in traditional. Now the question is, are those epics going to be things that we already have, or are they going to be all new champions? Because if it's somewhat fairly new champions,
it's going to be new champions.
It's probably going to be all fair.
Plarium has only been so nice as to give us champs that are already in the game with Lady Mikage. Everything else from that is always new champions. So we can go ahead and squash that right out.
It's probably going to be 3 new epics and 1 new Void epic. But yeah, pretty much you got to start saving now, just everything, and lots of energy gems, shards, everything, because there might be 3 dungeon divers, which I hate. Oh my god, it makes me lose my mind. But yeah, pretty much that's all it's going to be, is just saving and making sure you have the resources.
Okay. Gestal, what about you?
This is typically March is their 4-year anniversary, and I feel like they don't necessarily like try to make things harder during that fusion. I think they try to make it almost more accessible. They want everyone going for it. So
Which is worse. Everybody gonna.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I'm not saying that's a good thing. It's not a good thing. I'm just saying, per this point, I don't think they're gonna really gate it behind something difficult. Plus, he's not Void either, even though he basically looks like he's Void with his kit. But so I don't think they're really gonna gate it behind anything. And then of course, I'm going for him. But yeah, I don't know. I'd honestly prefer the Path event instead of like a second champ training. Champ training to me is the worst.
Okay.
At least with that, there was like another option than having to do champ training. And dungeon divers, right? Wasn't it the 2 of those? Like, even though it was kind of do one or the other to get the points for it, it was basically like a dungeon divers.
Yeah.
I would take that. I honestly hope they do that again, and I feel like you get better rewards out of the Path events.
Okay. Ken, what about you, man? What do you think?
So I'm just quickly looking at the previous fusion event. There was only 1 champion training, right? Yeah. The another one was the hero pet event, right? So it was champion training. If they do like that, I don't have a problem. But if they do like that, hey bro, you have to do 2 champion training event, then you have to also do one more time with the hero pet event. Or, you know, okay, there's a summer rush, there's a champion chase, there is also hero pet event, you know. That will be bad. Hopefully they won't do that. Previous event, like every one of us said, it wasn't big problem, to be honest. Because you still need to do champion training, right? Let's say there is no hero pet. Well, there is going to be champion training then, right? You have to do that.
Right.
And yeah, like I'm going for him. My only thing, like I don't like about him, I wish he's a girl, you know, with the stuff.
You
but
wish.
yeah, yeah, I really wish he's girl, man. Like that will be nice for champion. I feel like because I like
because you're
I know
gonna use
he's
him so
OP,
much, you
but
want to
I
make
really-
sure she looks pretty.
Bro, I don't want to use him. He's like ugly, man. Like I'm like you know I have Harima, I have Sifi, I have Mikage. You know, like I have Ankara now. You know, like very nice waifu team. Like what is this dude, man? Like
Yeah, Kenpachi has something like legit. Think about it. Most females in the game are queen, right? They go fast, and most nukers in the game, 80-90% of them are male. I mean, not just gender, but just thinking about like literally, right? This is the first male or champion that's going crazily fast and doing all control. That's not female.
true actually.
Okay.
Usually support champion are female.
Hey, he's a vagabond. They do weird things.
All right, so yeah, overall I'm curious to find out chat, are you guys gonna go for this fusion? How difficult do you guys think it's gonna be? So for myself, I'm definitely gonna go for it. I'm even thinking about doing it on all 4 of the accounts, which some of them are not prepared, but I'm worried that what they're going to do is they're going to take the extra fragments of being able to take out of any of the other champions, and you are going to be gated behind having to do a Titan's Path event, and I think that's what they're going to, put some of those points behind. And then if they do that, what points are they going to take away from us? What easy points? Like, are we going to start losing, like the champ training or anything like that? Like, if they replace the Dungeon Diver points with one of those events, hell yeah, go for it. I've got no problem. You mix it up with something else, I'm good for it. But I'm worried that they'll take away, because I've noticed that we've been getting less and less of the arena ones, which are, mostly the freebie ones. We used to have 3. We are down now to 2 on most fusions. So I'm definitely a little concerned on that. But overall, I think definitely going to go for him 100%. I know Nacho has some feelings on here, and Nacho, we need you back, man. We need you back. We got to get you back on here. Before we move into the next segment, I do want to give a couple of shout outs here to Edmund Free for following over on Twitch, Craft Crab for following us over on Twitch, George Morgan for following us over on YouTube, Matt for following us on Twitch, Jacob for following us over on YouTube. Much love to you guys. Thank you very much for following. All right, so let's get into the next big bad boy, which, hey, we've got Marius the Gallant. First of all, I'm going to ask, does he look like a skinwalker? Like, when I first looked at him, I was like, wait, he's got armor on. He looks like a Bannerlord, maybe Sacred Order type thing. Like, he's got a lance. I mean,
It's a horse.
Exactly.
It's a horse.
Like, I mean, it's a
That's
horse.
a skinwalker.
But like, come on. Do you guys actually see any skinwalkers fitting that same look? Like, let's take a look at the skinwalkers.
Yeah, they're all
Animals.
humanized animals.
Yeah,
Morphized.
but most of them kind of look like, I don't know, like they
Panda
look
looks like panda.
Well, yes, but I mean they're not gated. They're not wearing so much heavy armor. They don't look like they're a Bannerlord. Like, this guy strictly looks like he should be like a Bannerlord in here. He looks like Sigmund the High Shield.
It's
Right?
the irony, man. He's now getting on the horse to take on all those guys that have been riding him, all those
He
landslots.
got elevation.
Nacho's like, he's a fucking horse. But overall,
I was trying to help you out, Nacho. Trying to help you out, man.
overall, we're going to be getting into the quest. We've already discussed that, but let's break down the skill kit. The A1 attacks all enemies, has a 35% chance, books up to 50 of placing an enfeeble debuff for 1 turn. This will land on bosses. It has been confirmed. It will land on Hydra. It will land on Clan Boss. It will land on any bosses. And he is the only champion that can do that to date. Who? The
There's
Panda?
a Bannerlord Mythical also have the similar ability. AU Enfeeble debuff.
Oh, right.
Bannerlord Mythical.
Okay, yeah, Mythical.
Yeah, I saw him in live arena. He's annoying.
Yeah, actually, I saw that in the picture that you sent that you had Enfeeble on you on one of the champions.
Oh, it was that fight. It was that fight. That's part of the reason why he got sheep, man. He deserved it. Feeble on my Tars, bro. I couldn't do any damage.
Okay, so he is one of the ones that's going to be able to place Enfeeble on bosses. A1, Ken, free to play, pay to win.
Bro, like, first of all, he's defensive champion, right? So we don't know his multiplier yet, but he's not a support, that for sure, like previous fusion. There's a chance this dude can also smack, and this is AoE attack. You know me, A1 AoE. I love skills like that. RX, right?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, beside the Gestal, I didn't strip my RX yet for the Narcissus. So RX still have my best gear.
Oh, I didn't strip Tars. I'm saying I don't know if I should put what I put on.
Oh, my bad.
Narcissus has succeeded because Tars was my best build before. Now this has surpassed it, and I'm like, oh man, do I throw the gear on a Tars? I don't know what to do.
I wouldn't go that far. I still have my best gear on Taurus.
So,
no, well, I'm saying they're both very well built. I'm saying, but my Taurus is also a 5-star Awaken. I only have 1 star for Narcissus, but they're both very well built. I try to bring them together into live arena as much as possible.
All right, go ahead, Ken.
So obviously on the PvE content, insanely good. Like by the way, guys, Enfeeble debuff. If you guys doesn't know yet, enemies under Enfeeble debuff can only weak attack, right?
Yep.
So weak attack basically mean, guys, like my 7,000 defense Harima with 300 critical damage. Harima, if she weak attack the Wukong, pretty much my Duchess gonna deal more damage than Wukong.
Mm-hmm.
This is how stupid the weak attack in this game. Weak attack basically means no damage, so like they cannot kill you. In the arena too, obviously we was keep talking about the ship. There's a high chance you can get a ship from day one if you build them in the high accuracy. So that's the only negative thing about him for the arena ship meta. But yeah, very solid man, insane good.
Okay. Gestal, what about you?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, really. Like you said, there's like 1 champ, 2 champs that has this. Does Bombas have a feeble too?
He does, but you can't land. Yeah, you can't land it on the bosses though, I think.
Oh, not on bosses. Okay. Yeah, this is on an A1, and what's that book up to? 50%. 50% chance to land an enfeeble on an AoE on an A1. Yeah, I mean, mine is sheep. This is insane. He's probably going to be sheeped a lot though because of it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he's an arena-based ship.
You build him in resist, and I don't know. I feel like he's a damage dealer, so I'm not sure it's something you're necessarily going to have to be worrying about because you probably don't have much accuracy on him.
Yep. Noble right here says that Amius has now become easy mode because of him. Jay, what about you, man?
You can use him, of course.
Yeah, he's insane. The A1 is really powerful. It's great on bosses, great for PvE and PvP. I do think he's going to be a nuker because if you look at the next few skills, we'll talk about it. But yeah, he's going to be able to solo. It's going to be insane because of the A1 as well. Really powerful champion. I was shocked. I was like, man, it's going to be crazy. Yeah, overall, yeah, it's a really good skill. And even if it was only 1 person, you could always spread it. Right, like let's say you could bring out another champion like Vizier or like a Harkon Greatblade, and you can spread Enfeeble, right? So if he wasn't AoE and he was single target, you could find ways to make it AoE, because we've done that with Rhonda and spreading Rhonda's abilities, making it unresistible, or bombs. But overall, yeah, it's a great A1, a really good champion. I like it.
Okay. Zero, what about you, man?
First of all, I think is a cool ass looking champion. Like, I don't know. I love the whole, knight, and now he's a horse, and I'm just gonna wear what a knight would wear as the gallivanting horse. I think it's really cool. That being said, I get it. Yeah, they're adding new abilities to the game, right? Sheep, a year and a half ago, whatever, Enfeeble. Now after Shogun, I guess he introduced it to the game. I think it's weird to be able to put this on bosses because I think in general. Oh yeah, you're playing the video. I think in general, it kind of breaks a lot of stuff, right? Clan boss can't kill you. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the new mechanics making it into the game, and then the bosses can take them. So basically, you put this dude in anything, and you'll just easy through whatever hard content you have, assuming he lands it and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. A1 definitely
looks awesome.
Yeah, like I said, he just seems like he should be like a Bannerlord in the armor or something. I don't know.
I know what you want.
I want him to be. Where's
Iceland,
that? Yeah. Let me see here. Where's the picture that Ken wants him to look like? Or do I have one up here somewhere? I gotta find it. Nope, that's not it. All right. But A2 attacks all enemies 3 times. Each hit decreases the duration of all enemy buffs by 1 turn. Buff stripping, susceptible to polymorph, right? So for arena, but basically is able to strip everything that anyone has on a 3-turn cooldown. Ken, thoughts on this one, sir?
Okay, that's the ability you don't have to worry about being ship, because decreasing duration of the enemy buff doesn't make you ship. So
that's
you don't
true.
have to worry about
That's
that. Obviously, both of the A1 and the A2 skill, you need the accuracy. If you want that part, if you want debuff and the strip ability. Other than that, attack 3 times all enemy. Like, how many champion doing that on these days? Like, there's a Ethos, there's a Loa. Who else?
Okay. Just real quick, this is what Ken wants every champion in Raid Shadow Legends to look like, right? This is what Ken wants every champion to look like.
I mean, she's so strong, bro.
Gestal, what about you?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he isn't going to be a damage dealer. I kind of feel like everything he needs. Plus, he's put increased accuracy on, and you would need accuracy to decrease the duration of the enemy buffs here. So maybe he's more supporty. I don't know. I could be. I kind of hope he's a damage dealer. But maybe that's not the case. But if he is, and a triple hit AoE. And he's really strong. Like multipliers there are high. That would be amazing. Then I would build 0 accuracy on him. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he might be a more of a supporty type defensive champ.
Okay. I mean, I could see a build for him, kind of like Ramantu, where I've seen some people, build him really fast with high HP, but build a kind of a hybrid build. And like usually when I see Ramanto, I'm like, nah, I'm not going to ban him. I'm going to ban the extra nuka or the heavy nuka that they have. And Ramanto will actually mess me up.
Oh, he's crazy multipliers. Ramanto is crazy.
Yeah. So, I'm guessing this is kind of void legendary status that we're talking about. But Jay, what about you, man? What do you think? A2.
I love the skill, man. It gives me a timid kind of feel, gives me ethos kind of feel. I love it because it's not a sheepable offense. And it synergizes with its A3, so you can go A3 into A2, blow people up like an ethos while removing their buffs and not getting sheep. That's crazy. So he's basically like a Wukong. Like you can go straight nuke, or you can do like a hybrid build where you can kind of build a little bit of ACK because he gives himself ACK. Amazing kid, actually. I like it a lot. I love the A2.
Okay. 0.
Yeah, I think, and because I'm probably next to go for A3, so bring that up too. But I think Jay hit the nail on the head right there. I think it's self buff and then nuke, and of course if you're hitting them 3 times, I mean that can get disgusting, right? and of course add the accuracy to do the stuff. So yeah, I think it's a great kid. The only thing I want to know is when he takes the armor off, or maybe it's a she. We don't know with the horse here. Are the tassels there? And do I need to put the sunglasses back on?
Okay. The A3 places a 50% increased accuracy buff and a 60% increased debuff on all allies for 3 turns. That right there is strong. Then places a stun debuff on an enemy with the highest turn meter. And then, hey, listen, that's not enough. Finally, and I love that they put the word finally in there, grants an extra turn. Because the A3 just does so much where they're just like, yeah, he's going to do this and this and this. And oh, by the way, finally, he's going to do this on top. Man, a stun, increased accuracy, increased defense. Like, I'm beginning to think that he's going to start smacking, and we're going to see the same multipliers that we have with Ramantu. So we're going to get, I think, pretty solid nuker out of this. But it is on a 4-turn cooldown, essentially a 3-turn because of the extra turn mechanic. But let's start with Jay first.
So because of Galloping Thunder, this is going to allow for so much possibilities. Like I was saying earlier, it's going to allow you to solo content. You want to do Dragon, you want to do Minotaur. He's going to be your nuker, or he's going to be your solo champion for maybe even other areas. But it's such a great skill because it does a few. Normally, when you get increased accuracy, you get what? Increased attack, because you're trying to do it for bomb champions. But there's not that. There's a few, but not that many increased defense and increased accuracy champions. So he's not only just powering himself for his own kit, but he's actually helping out your team as well for 3 turns, not 2. Yep. And of course, even though it's a 4-turn skill, he gets an extra turn, so we have to take that into account. So it kind of makes his skill a 3-turn. Then he puts a stun on someone. Now you could argue in arena, well, he could get sheep there, and then boom, he just loses his whole turn, and you get screwed. But it's on the highest turn meter champion. That's usually going to be the fastest ones, like Siffy or some other champions. So there will be a chance, most likely, it can get resisted, right? But he gives accuracy too, so you have like a choice. It's like if you build low ac, you know it'll get resisted. But if you build high ac, you won't, and you'll stun them. So you have a chance of making sure they don't cut in. So his kit is so versatile in how you want to do it. It synergizes, of course, the A3 synergizes with his passive and everything else. I think it's an insane skill, actually. It's like Masha led level. It's really like huge.
Yeah. Okay. Zero Brew, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I love it. I think though, just looking at this dude's kit, is he complete counter to the other champion that we just went through?
I was just thinking that.
Because again, if you look at his passive, he's immune to turn meter reducing effect. So he basically counters the dude, and then theoretically that dude's turn meter should be at the top of the list anyway. So he's getting stunned. He might be the one taking the stun for the team. So
nope.
I don't know. I think it's a great kid. I can't wait to get him. I still think he looks cool. I'm still with that. But yeah, that's all I'll say is I think it's a counter to the other champion. So are you going to have to put him on a team if they in live arena if they take the other one? So.
All right. Gestal, what about you, man? A3?
Yeah, it's big, man. Increase AC, increase defense. Again, that's kind of what makes me think, he could go one way or the other. It's all going to really come down to multipliers. I hope he's more damage dealing oriented. But yeah, when I saw the increased AC, maybe he's a little more supporty. Increased defense right before he's about to drop that nuke, though, was insane. You ever get that increased defense on Harima and see the difference before and like having it and not having it? It's like it's so strong. So obviously putting that on himself and any other defensive champs that would be in there is big, and then stunning someone out. Stunning that Siffy or that Wukong that's about to take a turn. It's pretty nice. I like it. And grant an extra turn, man. It's can't beat that. It's basically a 3-turn cooldown.
Hey, I'm gonna give a shout out here to Nick because he just brought out a huge surprise. Pair this guy with Torment. Increased accuracy, increased defense. Torment is already screwing you up because of the turn meter. Between those two, holy shit. man, you are really at a loss now if you missed out on Torment. Ken, free to play. I'm gonna say no, but what are your thoughts on him? On the A3?
A3 skill, I think PLARIUM trying to tell us something there. I think PLARIUM teasing us, bro, you need to build the champion hybrid. There we go. Like, we can help you on the reaching the enough accuracy. And he also has self-increased defense buff. So you don't have to bring increased defense champion on your team. Like, if you don't have a Sifi, you can pretty much use him, right? The thing is, he's getting extra turn and he's increased accuracy and increased defense buff for your team as well.
Yeah.
Usually skills like that, like let's say you have a self buff ability, then you get extra turn. They are usually like selfish, right? They are only custom by themselves. Like, for example, Supreme Metal gonna get a buff, right? And she's only custom on herself, then she's getting extra turn. So this dude is doing for your entire team. Like, Torment was a great idea actually. Torment need accuracy, Torment need increased defense buff, so it can be very nice synergy with them. And also, Heist Tormentor 1 turn. I mean, his place a stun debuff, right, on the Heist Tormentor.
Yep.
If they are not under Stone Skin, and because his custom increase accuracy buff first, so you can pretty much land your stun debuff if you have enough accuracy. Very strong. I believe the way of the build this champion going to be Ibertman. I believe his multiplier going to be good.
Okay. Hardest over here says, thank God PvP or PvE, sorry, it doesn't have sheep blessings. Whew. You know, imagine when these guys come into brutal mode Centranos, and if they're gated behind something else and they have all these. Like, I can't imagine going up against the fusion in Centranos. That would be insane. The fact that he'll be able to sheep me would be nuts.
There is one ship though, like Dark Fair. My Dark Fair team has a ship, and I'm losing the fight because I'm shipping myself because my ship.
Yeah, that happens to me too.
I had that.
You put in Wukong, huh? All right. The passive. This champion is immune to turn meter reduction effects and decreased speed whenever an enemy changes forms or attempts to decrease this champion's turn meter. Counterattacks using the default skill. So he'll place Enfeeble. All right. So mythicals. Guess what? You know, if you're a nuker, you're pretty much out of the game. If I put this guy in a stun set on top of everything else, I get my chances at stunning. I mean, he sounds like he's going to be a pretty hard counter to a lot of things. So the passive right here, let's go with Ken first. Thoughts on it?
So here's the thing. Whenever they change their form, he's gonna counterattack them, right?
Yep.
Like, I really not interested in the first part, immune to decreased tormentor or whatever, because like even he's not immune to decreased tormentor, he's still gonna attack them, right? So that's looking promising for the mythical champion counter for them, especially if he can also hit hard. Like, he doesn't need to place Enfeeble debuff. If he can also hit hard, he can just nuke them, right? Especially if the enemy team has like attack type DPS, you know, they are squishy. If you don't have a Necret protection. Which is on the live arena, they can always ban your Necret, so that's why I don't like the attack DPS. That's why I love to use my Arix, because they can look at me. All I have to do is my A1 skill, right?
By the way,
I have to wait
I hate Arix so bad. I hate her so bad. She screwed me up in arena when I was trying to do a showcase on something. and I cursed you out in that video too, but go ahead.
So like, that's what I love to do, that, you know, if the enemy team is like squishy team, you know, like go far first, you know, stuff like that, I'm bringing my Harima Ursuga, come try nuke me, you know, then Arix there, and I have to do is like either counterattack or to get a turn with the Arix. For this dude, if they have a mythical champion, which is usually on the high arena, we are usually seeing them pretty much often, and he's gonna, like, you don't even need to build them like fast, you know, because Arix need to be fast, right? So gonna counterattack with the A1. You can also maybe, like, if his multiplier is bad, let's say his multiplier is going to be bad, you can build them maybe in stun set.
Yep.
So like Ukko, you know, that can be annoying as well. Like with the enfeeble debuff, yeah, very solid passive skill, man. Like synergy, you know, his skills are synergy each other. That's why I love it.
Okay, Gestal, what about you, man? Passive. What are we thinking?
Yeah, super strong. Turn meter reduction effects and decreased speed that could be useful, obviously in live arena, but in other places. Whenever an enemy changes form for the mythicals, now you've got pretty much a straight up counter to them. Yeah, so all around, super strong, man. I like this guy. I guess it comes down to how long is it going to take to get him.
And I think that was a question asked a little further up by No Such Being. I think a good estimate, especially because they're going to gate it behind Centranos. I would say we've gotten 3 rotations in right now. We're heading into the 4th one. Essentially, he should be released next week. So I'm going to say at least 6 to 8 months. But Jay, what do you think, man?
Yeah, the passive is really good. Once again, being immune to turn meter reduction effects and decreased speed means that he can solo, because you don't have to worry about your speed tune getting changed. And then the part that he can attack when mythicals change, that's going to be sick, because that happens so many times with Lazarius or Garl. Yep. If you can just enfeeble them, well, there you go. You just changed your champion now to do what? Weak hit? That's super strong. I think that's amazing. Or, right, you could go and instead of making him like a nuker instead, or like a ASDD, you can actually build him as strictly control, stun, provoke sets, right? He's a defensive champion, so you can put provoke, you can use the enfeeble. Really, really strong, versatile champion. Like legit, he's super amazing. Yeah, I can't wait to see all the different things that people are gonna do. Probably nukers or controllers like Mighty Ukko. He's gonna be all over the place. So
okay, all right. Mr. Zero Brew, what about you, man?
Yeah, so I'll be quick, but again, we already talked about counter to the other dude, but I do like the fact that they're bringing a legendary that can handle the change function with the mythical champions. I think they probably need to do a little bit more of that, especially on the free-to-play side of the house where people aren't spending the big bucks. But I've seen 3 or 4, live arena fights with all mythicals. I'm like, I still haven't even gotten one yet, other than Lady Mikage, obviously, but. Yeah, and she's such a pain in the butt to deal with now. A well-built Mikage in live arena is such a pain, talking about full control. So having this dude to out-control her potentially is even cooler.
Right.
And again, legendary, not a mythical. Now, how long is it going to take him to get us? 18 months, we'll see, but...
18 months. Will Raid still be alive in 18 months? I don't know.
That's how long it took to get Ramontu, I felt like. So.
Oh, my God. That is, wow. All right. The aura's solid, 35% in all battles, and I think he's pretty much tied right there with Blind Seer, who's got the highest one in game currently. But overall, great champion. Can't wait to get him. I will be pushing for him, except if I'm gated behind glyphs, because I expect that to happen. But all right. We've talked about a lot of things today, guys. It's definitely been a very informative show today. I do appreciate all of the community that turned out to watch us. Guys, we peaked at 95 viewers between both the YouTube and Twitch platform. That is actually the highest one we've had so far. I say it. This show is only a success because you guys turn out to watch us on Sundays. And I know it's not the easiest time, but thank you. Thank you all so much for spending your 2 precious hours with us. Let's do some shout outs. Ken, who do you got to shout out for me, man?
I like to shout out the Saffron Man. He's one of the OG content creators. I heard he recently started streaming again on the kick.com. So make sure to check him, guys. He's a great guy.
All right. Gestal, who do you got to shout out for me, my man?
I'm going to shout out to a newcomer, OTS Sakari. That's OTS SICARII. over on Twitch. He's been putting a lot of work in there on the Raid Shadow Legends, so go help a new guy out.
All right. Jay, shout out.
My shout out goes to Zero Brewman for joining the TELERIA Knights and joining us here every Sunday to do this podcast with us. Thank you so much.
Oh, that this one?
I like how you said every Sunday.
He's kind of like, hey, we know you've been coming on, you haven't fully committed, but we're gonna push you to that.
I'll take it. All right, let's do this together. Final. Ken, let's go. Give me the number 2 with both hands.
Ken?
Ken, the number 2 with both hands.
Okay.
Yeah. Flip it around this way. Touch your pointer fingers.
Hold on.
Yeah. Touch your pointer fingers. Wait, flip
Okay,
it up.
okay.
Upside down. Yeah. And then touch the bottom and then turn inwards.
I think I got that.
And it's creepy. It's called the creepy heart hands.
I don't know how to. I can't do that. My hands can't flip like that. I'm gonna go like this.
I tried.
This works.
I tried. You got it. You almost got there. There it is. I saw it there. He did it. He did it.
Did I?
Yeah, he did it. All right. So, I hope I'm not butchering his name, but Basar COS. How do you say his name? Basar. Yeah. He first of all, partner streamer on Twitch, and he streams, but he reached out to me on my stream and say, hey, it looks like you're having problems with Sand Devils. Let me do a takeover next time I'm streaming, and I'll help you out. And so we did the what's his name, the free champ from the referrals, Chronum. So he helped me build the Chronum, and then when we had the last free regear or a couple ones back, I was able to keep swapping out gear to get me to the 25 where I could use the ice champ, whatever his name is. I don't know. My brain's dead at this point. But yeah, so shout out to Bosser. He's awesome content creator, and he definitely helped me out when I needed some help. So
all right,
appreciate it. And thank you for having me on.
Hey, always welcome. Always welcome. Just like Jay says, every weekend. My shout out actually going to go to the Real Deal. He's a great content creator. Been really enjoying a lot of his stuff lately, especially the shorts. And I'm going to play this one right here because I think you guys need to see it. Let's go ahead. First of all, let me make sure I don't mute it. But he's been having a lot of fun with these.
The new champion is coming to Raid Shadow Legends. We've had Ronda, Alex, and Ninja. Introducing King Boozer.
Look at the face on Boozer, guys. Look at the face.
Why he's so angry?
Check out the skill kit, though. Plarium would lose their shit if this was actually in the game.
This champion comes with 2 passive. His first passive, free to play, by the way. Every time Boozer takes a turn, he shouts, free to play, by the way, and places true fear on all enemies for 2 turns.
OP.
His second passive, Whale Impale. Mythical champions cannot be used against this champion. His A3, Money in the Bank. Boozer places Stone Skin on himself for 2 turns and is immune to all Plarium deals.
If that ability was in the game, it would absolutely screw with them so bad.
A2, save the resources. Boozer attacks all enemies and removes all buffs, then places block debuffs for 2 turns, then gains a random shard. His A1, Mr. Poopsie. This skill is yet to be confirmed. And make sure to subscribe for more content.
Yes, make sure you guys go give my boy a follow over here. I'm going to post the links in the Twitch and YouTube. A great content creator. He actually reached out to me asking me a couple of questions to do one on me, and I was like, sure, go for it. I would love to see what you're going to come up with. But yeah, huge shout out to the Real Deal 86. Great guy. Can't wait. He's got a little kid, and I've wanted him to come on the channel. It's just the times don't align for us, but as soon as he can, he definitely will. All right. Any plans for this upcoming week, Ken?
Next week?
Yep.
Next week gonna be juicy, man. Like, there's a 2x coming. Soulstone. A little bit disappointed there, you know.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even mention that.
Yeah, it's a little bit disappointed, I would like to say, but I think I'm gonna try my chance because I'm bored, man. Like, I'm saving my shirt, I'm saving my brew, I'm saving everything. Wait, Shadow Legends. Like, I think I'm gonna open my Soulstone because I really want to pull something like Narcissus Soul. You know, I really want that. It's my next target, to be honest.
Right.
And beside that, wait in the fusion, yeah. And excited about the raid anniversary. I think it's a 5-year. I think it's starting next week too. So hopefully we can get some free stuff.
Good point on that, guys. On Tuesday, we're going to have 2x on Mortals and Immortal Soulstones, where you can pull 6-star mythical
only 6
rare.
star.
Yeah, only 6-star. You'll be able to get them, for mythical rares, epics, legendaries. So it actually is really great because you're getting up to the Immortal is 12%. Those little guys are 1.5, but it is what it is. Gestal, what about you, man?
I think just be getting ready for the fusion. The free-to-play account. I try to start gearing up on resources and energy like the start of the week, like kind of when the fusion warm-up event starts. I'll try to like really start stacking resources and like just be ready to roll in Thursday and Friday. So I pretty much hanging out waiting for the fusion to start.
Okay. Jay, what about you?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely excited for Tuesday. I have like 140. I don't want to pull on my Mortal Soulstones. Try to get at least some new 6-stars, or at least something else on my wish list, because they bumped up wish list ever since before it was 2x, right? Now it's 8x.
Just put 1.
So I'm definitely excited to pull everything on Tuesday.
Good luck.
All right. And Zero, what about you? What are your plans for next week?
Yeah, so same thing. Excited about the Soul event. So I've been holding on to those for a hot minute, and again, going to go for the Archer last minute tonight. And I'm still holding out that the Pogo's coming Tuesday along with that. Not that I'll be able to pull, because I got to save for the upcoming fusion, but and looking forward to that. It's like if you can't beat them, join them. So everybody's got to go for this one. Is my thought. So yeah, and honestly, I didn't even take advantage of this weekend's free gear. I got so many champs because of all the champ training that I've got to start working on them, and I've only got 12 more hours to start working on them.
Yeah.
So, but I just like Sin City. I'm just kind of like this rotation. I'm like, whatever, and I might not even try to beat Amius. And I know, to Gessel's point earlier about the silver, now's the time to do it. So I need to get off my butt and do it. But honestly, I'm a little burnt out a little bit at the moment. I did a little Valheim this weekend and enjoyed taking a break from Raid for half a second.
Okay.
So Gestal, if you want to play that game, call me. Let's do it together.
Nacho's been telling me to try Valheim for a while, man. I gotta check it out.
All right. As for me this week, I'm gonna try to pop out some more YouTube videos now that I got an editor. Again, shout out to Bob for doing all of that. The quality of my videos have just increased because of him. So I'm gonna try to put some more stuff out for you guys, more guides and stuff, and see where we go from there. But yeah, I'm excited for the 2x on the Soulstones. I had like 140, but I really wanted even just a 1-star for the king, and I used all 140, so that was a bad call. But yeah. All right, so everybody on the Twitch side, we are gonna raid Mr. Mullet Reaver. So we'll go join him over there on his stream. Make sure that you guys give him a follow when we head over there. Doesn't cost anything. Show him some support. Twitch side, we love you guys all very much. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us this week on the Knights of Teleria. Hopefully you enjoyed this show. And we will see you guys again next Sunday at 2 p.m. EST. As always, guys, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other. Catch you guys next time.